What's good, YouTube? It's your boy TooSmooveEli back with another reaction video. Today we have, bro. I've been circling around this whatever you want to call it, and I didn't think to even make a video on this because I never but I'm glad I did. But I never even heard what they said. I just seen the titles, and I'm like, why is Katie even in a call with this weird ass? You feel me? But Kevin Durant in Twitter Spaces, June 23rd, full Twitter day, blah, debating with NBA fans, NBA top 5. I seen this surfacing around. First things first, this is what I'm gonna say. This dude right here, this weirdo, I've never, I guess you could say liked him. Not saying I hate him. I just never liked him. Nigga was never funny. Never like, oh, this dude's interesting. Never cool. Dude's always been lame. I'm just gonna throw that. Always been lame. He's one of those cringe weirdo dudes on the internet. One of those type dudes. He's just weird. He's lame to me. We all got our own opinions. He spews out NBA topics. He weighs like 400, so I don't know why he's even thinks he has the single right to even do so. But he just spews out shit. He's one of those he's just so annoying. And like, I don't know why Kevin Durant would, like, if I'm KD, I'm joining this call for sure, because that's what I'm gonna do whenever you feel me, and I'm talking shit. That's what I'm here for. But like, dude, he's so lame. And like, I seen a lot of people saying, why is people like this even allowed to call KD not top 5? Like, let's be real. Let's, like, come on, bro. Niggas like this, you couldn't pay me. You couldn't pay me to hop in the call with this nigga, bro. I promise you couldn't. You couldn't. If I'm KD, I'm doing it. But me, right? You couldn't pay me. Dude's lame. But KD not to me. KD is a top 5, and he's top 1. There's no player in the NBA right now better than Kevin Durant. And one thing I want to get is, where do y'all get this? When did Giannis become good? I was on Twitter because I went to the comments on this topic, and everyone was just naming Jokic, Giannis, Luka, Embiid, and then who was they putting at day 5s? Tatum. And I'm like, first of all, y'all niggas is just like dead ass bullshit. The only person y'all could even, no one. Jokic not better than KD at basketball. Tatum, come on, bro. Let's be serious. Luka, let's be serious, bro. Giannis, where did he ever become good? That's the one thing I want to know. Where did Giannis ever become good? Nigga is running dunk. He's been running dunk. He's still running dunk. He got figured out by a trash Heat team and got bounced out first round against the AC. Like, let's stop it, bro. But let's get into this, bro. I didn't even never hear what they had to say, but let's hear what KD had to say about this loser of, like, what's your point? Wings. I don't know this dude. But I don't like him, bro. I just don't. He's just always been like,
what's your point?
The point I'm making is that, again, when it comes to assessing players, and I get you saying that you don't do this, but I think that in particular, especially the gap between 5, 6, and 7, there probably will be nitpicks. My argument is that, like, if my argument towards why you're not is that the value of who you are as a scorer, especially rim pressure and getting to the basket, isn't where it needs to be.
Where does it need to be in order? Where does it need to be?
If we're talking about other players who are getting to the free throw line and put more rim pressure, such as like a Luka, then I think.
What is this nigga even talking about? Why? And this is one other thing I don't like about Twitter. We just let any and everybody. That's why I don't like Twitter. Twitter is like, well, in every internet source, it's just a safe place for niggas who not really like that in real life. It's a safe place for niggas like him. Dead ass. It's a safe place.
Think that,
you know, if all I have to do, if behind it, like on here, I'm God. You feel me? But in real life, I look like, come on, bro.
Like that right there would be in favor.
I'm not even talking about just looks. That shit don't matter. As a person, he's just lame as hell. He could be he could be anything. He's just lame as hell. Like, it's not because of, bro. Come on.
If I'm comparing you and Luka, I would undeniably say that he gets to the rim more often. He puts more pressure on the basket more often. Like, those are things that I would undeniably say are true.
So what's that? I mean, so like, what's his play style? What point are you trying to make?
Like, dead ass.
The point I'm trying to make is that if I'm having a conversation with somebody and we're discussing the ability to score, the dynamic ability to score, just even offense in general, right? Again, if people want to just blankly say about the scoring aspect, I'm fine with the idea of you scoring. But if I then bring up the lack of rim pressure in contrast to someone like Luka and why I would favor Luka.
This nigga is, what is this nigga talking about rim pressure? What is this dude even?
Their immediate response to that would be, I think, potentially an embellishment of how often you get to the free throw line. And then I'm comparing you to Luka, or I bring up to Luka, then that's where like the disconnect happens. Because then even especially if I bring up somebody else who I just believe.
Like, could you imagine being KD right now and this dude, this nigga? I'm not saying his name. I won't say his name. This nigga is telling you how good you are and talking like this to you, talking crazy like this.
Gives more pressure.
Could you imagine?
Especially like a Luka or a Giannis. Then they pivot to another conversation that has nothing to do with what we were talking about.
You can just say Giannis.
And so what you're saying that you think you got to the free throw line a lot in that series, I think 2 of those games you did. I don't think that the remainder of the series you did though.
Well, I guess. So your point is that like you don't want to put me in the same conversation with Luka and the rest of the top 5 guys. That's what this whole space is about, right?
No, my point is that people who are
like, look at the title of this, bro. You like, bro? Come on, you too old for that, bro.
Have you where they have you just be consistent for one?
No, but Lo, you don't think he's top 5, so stop dancing.
Yes,
literally.
That's not that.
I think you making shit way more complicated than it should be when it's involved in the game. Like,
Thank you.
You're not good because of rim pressure. Like, I didn't even know y'all.
Who said that you weren't good though?
No, I'm just saying that's a talking the game. Like,
oh well, I never said that you weren't good. That never came out of my mouth.
I'm just using that as an example. Like, we talking.
Oh well, I don't know.
You and your friends.
Hey, KD.
It's just like
KD, how you feel about Bill on your team?
Oh fuck, bro.
I just think the way ball being talked about nowadays, not just you, but just in general, I just be looking like it's just too many layers that people trying to use to justify why their favorite players are the best, or why they view as the best, or what they say is the holy grail of basketball. I just be thinking it's be a bunch of self-serving.
Yes, I think.
Bro, I have been saying this shit since I've been on for the past all my life, but since I've been on YouTube, bro. Every time I'm saying a nigga is good, y'all bring up, bro, bullshit I don't care about. Is the nigga good at basketball or bad at basketball? That's all I ever talk about when I talk about basketball. Y'all can talk about this is literally me and y'all niggas. Rim pressure, bro. If you bring up some shit like rim pressure in the argument about is a nigga boom boom boom, bro, I'm walking away or leaving, whatever it is. I'm not finna argue with a nigga talking about no rim pressure when I'm talking about is someone good at basketball. This is shit I be talking about. Like when I be like, oh, Kyrie's better than boom boom boom. Oh, Kyrie doesn't have the ability to get his teammates into the. Oh, he's a cancer of his team. Bro, nigga, I don't care about shit y'all are saying. On that court, can anyone do what he's doing with that basketball? No, he's the best player in the league. That's how I look at it, bro. KD, no one's doing what he's doing with that ball in his hands. He's the best player. Y'all looking at it like all these plus minus percentages, 0.2 PTDZs, all this tripped up, bro. All that bullshit, bro. Come on, bro. Like. I swear this how I look at y'all when y'all argue sports with me. I don't care about that. Is the player good or is he bad at basketball? Like,
I think getting rim pressure can definitely be a determination.
Like, look at this dude.
Evaluation of someone, especially when your coach last season, Monty Williams, would go to the podium and complain about how y'all weren't getting enough free throw attempts every other game. Now you weren't on that team for most of that time, but when Monty Williams used to complain about the lack of free throw,
bro, I don't think KD knows who he's arguing with right now, too.
Attempts,
yes, every coach would come up there and say that.
No, but Monty used to do it routinely. And I think that did hurt the Suns' offense last year. The lack of appearances at the free throw line, but it's hard to get free throw attempts if you're not attacking the basket. Would you not agree?
I don't think I just settled for threes though.
I didn't say you. You asked me the evaluation.
You literally said him.
Of rim pressure, there is a lot of
I just think when you break the 3-point line, not necessarily, you don't always necessarily have to get to the rim, but I think you can create a lot if you just break the 3-point line.
Literally.
You know what I'm saying? Our game is played behind the 3-point line. I feel like a lot of teams, a lot of players can settle to shoot a lot of threes. But once you break that, you're going to get the defense to react. Now, if you get over to the rim, that's cool. But sometimes you can just touch the paint, beginning of the paint, and then you can create something or take an easy shot.
They don't know nothing about that, KD.
In the lane, regardless of laying the ball up, that's a layup to me.
In that series, you just so happen to be shooting bad on your layups.
On my what?
On what you would consider a layup to you, you were just shooting bad on your layups in that series.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
But my career ain't just about one series though.
But the top 5 argument isn't about your career either. It's about this season.
But a lot of I mean, who Who in your top 5? First off,
right now. Jokic, Giannis, Curry, Luka, and Embiid.
Like, look what he did, bro. I don't know why y'all think Giannis. Who? It's look who I'm. Bro, I'm not finna go into that shit. Look at this nigga.
why you choose that 5? That's a great 5. I mean, you can't go wrong with any. There's so many players in this league. Like, you can put a whole totally different 5 and be like, all right, that's cool too. They all play well too. But why that 5?
I think the top 3 in particular are consistently relative to like a lot of other players, especially this season, are more
I
available
promise y'all I could, bro.
than a lot of other players. I think they tend to translate, or at least they have something that can translate at a very high level in the postseason when teams are specifically scheming against them better than a lot of other people. And I also think that just their impact, regardless of like obviously like Giannis's impact defensively is different from like Jokic and vice versa. But for example, I just think like Jokic's impact on the offensive side of the floor and the things that he's able to provide really does alter not only what his team can do, but also how the opposing team defends them. And I think the more valuable and the more consistent you are at that, especially trying to alter teams offensively or defensively in the postseason, lends to me favoring you higher than one person or the other. But for me personally, I just think that if, in particular to you, if there's a noticeable regression from the shot making that you have, especially when you're going up against more physical forwards such as Aaron Gordon or the year prior, JT and them in Boston, then that's kind of a pause for question. That's why I would hesitate to put you top 5.
I wouldn't. Me being in your top 5, I'm not. There's nothing wrong with me not being in your top 5. I just want to know what's your criteria. Everybody got different criteria. Me being top 10. Me being
Yeah, you clearly top 10. You're top 10.
me not being in the top 10. I'm not sitting here like, oh, you're totally wrong about that. I understand. You got your own perspective on the game, but I just wonder what everybody's criteria. I think everybody got different criteria about for why they watch the game.
And again, I agree. If their criteria heavily favorite things that you are amount of games in the regular season, overlooking that when it comes to you, and that.
Thank you, bro, because I couldn't hear this nigga talk for any longer myself. Moral of the story, bro. KD's best basketball player in the league right now after Kyrie Irving. If y'all want to add in plus minuses, win percent, then y'all got that. It's probably whoever else. But if we talking about basketball, it's KD, Curry, Kyrie, and it's not close. Also, a nigga like him, I wouldn't hop in the call with, not because of what he's like his opinion. It's just because of he's just not a person I would feel lower of myself, going back and forth with a person of, you feel me, of his criteria type shit. But let me know what y'all think down below. Like, comment, subscribe, check everything down below. Till next time, we out.